Ah yes, Magicalchase, one of the holy grail games in an American TurboGrafx-16 collection. Released in 1993, toward the end of the Turbo's life cycle, Magicalchase is said to be produced in rather small numbers, and as a result goes for a ridiculous amount of money on eBay and beyond. And yes folks, here it is in all its glory, one of the rarest and most expensive TurboChip games out there. Man, I'm almost afraid to be touching this game right now, let alone playing it. Must insert into console. There. Well, too late to back out now. The story revolves around Ripple, a student of magic, who accidentally snuck a peek into the forbidden book called The Sleeping Demons and unleashed these demons into the world. Ripple's teacher, who is a witch, wasn't too happy about that and has given her an ultimatum. Get these demons back into that book or else you'll spend the rest of your life as a frog. Well, guess what? Ripple's going demon hunting. So, she sets off into side-scrolling shooter heaven to destroy the strange and magical demons who are out for little girl blood. While options or side cannons aren't anything new when it comes to a shooting game, Magicalchase has some very unique side characters that go along for the ride. They are little elf stars named Topsy and Turvy. They shoot alongside Ripple, giving her that extra added edge. What sets this shooter apart from others is the ability for you to utilize Topsy and Turvy to suit your own needs. They can be shifted around at your will, shooting in multiple directions. They can also be fixed in a position of your choosing, which helps in defeating enemies in hard-to-reach areas. Sometimes you can also position them carefully enough to act as a shield to protect Ripple from being hurt. It takes a while to get used to controlling these little guys, and is very strange at first, but this aspect really propels Magicalchase into the stratosphere from a gameplay aspect. It's such a unique concept that the game defaults to Breeze mode, which includes only the first 3 levels of the game, but it gives you some time to learn the usage of these little guys. At the end, you get a cute little "thanks for playing, now stop being a pansy and try the harder stages" message, and then you can move on to either the normal bumpy or the harder rough mode. Can you upgrade your weapons like in normal shooters? Of course, and that's where good old Halloween Jack's Magic Store comes into play. Once again, Magicalchase takes the typical a step further by allowing you to purchase upgrades and items throughout the quest. As you destroy enemies, they will drop little gems. These gems can be used to buy items such as weapon upgrades for both Ripple and the Elf Stars, the elixir to recover your energy, which is a must, or the Fruit of Life, which adds another hit to Ripple's health bar. The different weapons available become more powerful as each stage progresses, but also the price increases. These weapons range from a 3-way shot, to a wave cannon, to a general increase in shot multipliers. The necessity to buy items also gives you a reason to be constantly collecting the gems that enemies leave behind, and truthfully, it's fun. Some enemies also drop candy, which replenishes Ripple's health bar. The levels are all pretty well laid out and offer a different charm of some kind. It seems to switch from a fantasy-like or magical appearance to something of almost a dreamlike state. The enemies are extremely varied. Some are so darn cute, you feel guilty for shooting them. Aw, poor teddy bear, I'm sorry. All of them are unique and have their own distinct personality. The mini-bosses and end-bosses are all pretty fun, with interesting patterns and attacks. Strangely, the game showcases the mini-bosses in the opening title of each stage. I guess it's just a tease. The last stage is pretty much a boss extravaganza party, and guess what? You're invited to die. I did find some weak points in a couple bosses that allow you to defeat them easily, such as in stage 4. You can sit right up onto the boss and destroy him without even moving a muscle. Or the final boss of the game, where positioning the Elf Stars downward can guarantee you a simple hideout spot at the top right. These 2 game flaws are rather unfortunate. The rough mode adds a little more challenge than the normal setting, but all of the stages are within acceptable difficulty for defeating them. I was disappointed in the endings, which are essentially text-based. Yeah, showing me stats is kinda cool, but that's it? Even the Breeze mode gets a better ending, and that one tells you to screw off and restart the game. Oh well. Anyway, the graphics are just visually beautiful with multiplex scrolling and amazing colors. The visual atmosphere of Magicalchase never disappoints. The sounds and music are also really great and add to that magical theme. Now, the music isn't something you'd listen to in the car, but it always enhances the experience. Magicalchase has that addictive factor in place that just makes you want to pop it in and shoot everything in sight. It's so addictive to kill the baddies and continuously collect the gems that they leave behind that you really can't explain why. And this addiction factor in Magicalchase is a trait you'll find in every stellar shooter. I'm basing this review on the game itself and not whether or not the game is a rare one. The good news is that Magicalchase is one hell of a great shooter, with gorgeous graphics, fun sounds, a balanced challenge, and some unique additions that stand at toe-to-toe with some of the best TurboGrafx has to offer. Only a couple issues that bothered me kept it from reaching a perfect rating, so I'm going to have to give Ripple and her Elf-Star friends 4.5 TurboChips out of 5. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go get this rare game, lock it into a box so it won't get hurt.